Okay, so today we're going to take on a little bit of a different song. It's a Pink Floyd song, Hey You. So let's go ahead and get started with that. I'm going to show you how to do the intro part, and then I'm going to show you just the chord you strum, or that I like to strum during the verses. So you have a capo on the 3rd fret, so go ahead and put that on there. And then we're going to start out, it's a little bit interesting, but I'm pretty sure we can do this. Okay, so you want to have your first finger on the B string, and that would be, if you're counting the capo as your open fret, it'd be 1, 2, 3, 4. So it'd be on the 4th fret with your first finger on the B string, right there. Then you have your let's do this. You'd have your 3rd finger on the 6th fret of the D string, right there. You'd have your 4th finger on the 6th fret of the G string. So that chord should look like that. That's how it should sound. Okay, and then the next chord we're going to be using, hold on, let me turn my camera a little bit. Okay, the next chord we're going to be using, so that's the first one. The second one is going to be this. So that's the same thing, you slide it down one whole step to right here, okay? And then you just flatten your finger like an F. You flatten your first finger to make it a bar over the E and the B string. And then we're also going to be adding in our 3rd finger on the B string onto the 3rd fret. Okay, so that first chord is, the second chord is, and then the 3rd chord. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and show you the picking pattern for this. So what we're gonna be picking is, I'll turn the camera so you can see. Okay, here, let me zoom in a little bit. Okay, so on that first chord, it's gonna be okay, so I'll do it with a pick now. I'll show you. Okay, B string, G string, G string, E string, G string, D string, E string, G string. Okay? And I just like to pick it, and you can kind of alternate your fingers a little bit. Oh, sorry. Like that. Okay, now slide that shape down and go to that second shape. Okay? Now this one goes, and then so you go that, so that's, okay, you go there, so you do that much, and then you add that 2nd finger on, okay, to the 3rd fret on this note, so then it sounds like this. So with it off, then you add it on, and then take it off, okay? Okay, now I'll pick that and show you what my hand looks like. Okay, so we're up here. Okay, so that's pretty much the whole thing, and then it goes back up to here, and okay, so just that again. And then now we're going to take off our capos. And I'll show you what we do with the capos off. Okay, so when you're doing the first part, where it sounds like this, or sorry, okay, that part is a E minor add 9, which I like to play like this. Okay, I'm strumming that backwards, so I'm strumming that from the top up to the low, so highest to lowest. Makes it sound more mysterious. And what you can do also is you hit the low E string, and then you can even hit it again, like, okay. So, okay. Okay. So I'll show you how to play that chord. Okay, so that is. Hold on, see if I can get my camera to focus. Okay, that's a little bit better. Okay, so that first chord is, so that's first finger on the second fret of the A string and third finger on the fourth fret of the D string, and then the rest is open. And I like strumming that from top to bottom. Okay? Then the next chord that we're going to be using is a B minor. So let me show you what that looks like. I play with the bar. You can play without the bar. Doesn't really matter. So it's third finger on the D string, fourth fret, fourth finger, fourth fret of the G string, and then second finger, third fret of the B string, and then a bar across all these strings. Not the E. Sorry, you don't play the E string. So, and if you don't want to do that, then you just do this. Oops, sorry, not that. You just have to make sure you don't hit the A string then if you're doing that. Okay. So then it goes back to the E minor out of 9. Then it goes back to the B minor. Okay, and then it goes to a D. Okay, so you're strumming these. Open D, first finger on the second fret of the G string, third finger on the third fret of the B string, and second finger on the second fret of the E string. And then G, then a D, then a C. Okay? I'm just gonna go ahead and assume you know those chords because those are pretty basics. And then an A minor. I'm gonna assume you know that one too. It's just an A, except you drop the B string note one fret. And then back to that. So I think that's pretty much all the chords we learn in this section. I'm gonna go ahead and get out the recording, and we can play with it and see how far we can go before we have to learn some new chords. Hold on 1 second.